I'm going to be talking with you guys about the top 5 best performance mods for your 2004 to 2006 GTO. I have my 2004 GTO sitting right here, and I'm going to tell you guys what I think the top 5 best mods for the price are for your GTO. And when I reference that, I think that the best performance mod, or the best mod just in general, that you get for your price. So a lot of people think that you can get a ton of performance out of something like a supercharger or something, but that's also like $6,000 and it doesn't net gain you a ton of performance. So I think the best ones for the money are what I'm going to be talking about today. So to start it off, the number one performance mod that I think that you can get for this car is going to be coilovers. These cars are really heavy and really feel like a boat coming from a factory, and the stock suspension does no justice to that. I think that for the price range on a set of coilovers, you get the most performance out of it, hands down, for a set of coilovers for the car. You basically, for a set of coilovers for this car, for 2004 to 2006 GTOs, they are anywhere from $1,000 to about $1,800 for a really good set, and that's including front and rears. And they hands down they completely change the feeling of the car. Car goes from feeling super squishy and like soft into corners to a very nice handling car just in general. And for that price range, the $1,000 to $1,800, you really can't beat the modification or the change that it does to the car for that kind of price. So the second mod that I think that you guys are going to want to go for is going to be an exhaust for the car, and that's going to be including a set of long tube headers or shorty headers, all the way to a full cat back exhaust, or basically for a whole header back exhaust. Especially nowadays for the price range, you are going to be getting a lot for your money on the net gain of horsepower compared to the cost of the actual exhaust. Now, I really discourage when people think like, oh, I can go spend $6,000, $7,000 on a Pro Charger or a supercharger, and you have no any other mods done to the vehicle or done to the engine. If you throw a supercharger or Pro Charger on this car, the stock car, you're gonna gain what, like 100 horsepower or something like that, and that's gonna cost you $6,000 to $7,000, and that's if you do the installation yourself. Maybe $8,000 if you had someone else do it, and you're looking at 450 horsepower. That's like, you're spending a lot of money for 100 horsepower. Now, if you were to take an exhaust, and on a 2004 GTO, that's a 5.7 liter, they come 350 stock to the crank, so you're looking at 280, 290 to the wheels if you're lucky. The a full exhaust on this system, on this car, on a 2004, is going to gain you anywhere from 30 to 40 horsepower to the wheels. So you jumped up from 290 horsepower to about 340, 350 horsepower just off a full exhaust system. And for the price range, that's like amazing. You've gained almost 50 horsepower from stock for a set of headers, which you can now get a set of long tube headers, a good set from Texas Speed, for around $600, and that's including headers and a mid pipe also. And so that's going to be a complete and then also you have to add on the catback exhaust system, which is going to run you anywhere from like $800 to $900. So all said and done, for $1,400, you're going to get 50 horsepower. Now, if you, going back to the supercharger, you spent $6,000 and you only gained 100 horsepower. So for a fifth of the cost, you're gaining half that power that you would have spent on the supercharger. If you would have spent on the supercharger. Now for 2005, 2006, it's the same thing. Same Texas Speed headers, you $600 or something like that, and a 6.0 liter LS2 that come in the 2005, 2006. They gain anywhere from, or they're from stock, anywhere from 400 horsepower to the crank to like, so you're looking at like 340, 330 to the wheels. That's stock. And with a full exhaust system, you're looking at like 380 to 390 to the wheels. So you're almost at a 400 horsepower car, and you've only spent like $1,600. 400 horsepower is like no joke. That's a pretty beefy car at that point. So I think exhaust is like hands down the best exhaust, best performance mod you can do for your engine for this car. So going into number 3, I think that the third best mod that you can do for these cars are going to be a set of sway bars. These cars have a ton of body roll, and they're super notorious for that. And for a set of sway bars, the price range for it, it literally changes the complete like handling characteristics of the car. You pair the sway bars with the coilovers and the car actually feels like it can handle at that point. Sway bars are run anywhere from $400 to about $500. I think this Hotchkiss sway bar kit is $450 or something like that for the car, and that includes the front and the rears. So that's hands down, I think, one of the best mods you can get for the vehicle. So for number 4 best performance mod, it's gonna have to be the brake upgrade. For this car, you have 3 options. Basically, you can do, I think, the Bear system, Wheelwood system, and the CTSV system. And I think for the price range, the best system is going to be the CTSV conversion. You can, for about $1,000 to $1,200, you can do the front and the rears, and basically have a 6-piston caliper in the front and a 4-piston caliper in the rear. There's a guy by Bohanman that makes the adapter kit for it, and it really does change the characteristic of the car on the braking aspect. The stock calipers are just don't cut it for this kind of car. The cars weigh 3,800 pounds from factory. The stock 4-piston calipers in the front, and I think it's a single in the rear, they just can't stop the car. And if you really do want like a good handling or just an all-around kind of like nice daily driver, you really do need a good set of braking power, I guess, for the car. And for the price range, the CTSV conversion is hands down the best that you can do for it. So the number 5 best performance mod that you can do for this car is going to be basically a bushing change in the front. These cars have notorious bushing failure for these cars. Just the way the suspension is designed in the front, they have a radius rod that attaches to a rubber bushing. It's called it's a radius rod bushing, and those are really prone to failure. When I bought my yellow one, it had a really bad radius rod bushing, and I absolutely thought that when I would come to a stop, that the whole wheel was going to get shoved into the wheel well, because with the radius rod, when they're bad, it messes with the caster of the car, so the wheel basically can go forward and backwards, and it's really something that you don't want to have go bad. So for the price range, they're like $150 to replace, and they will save you a lot of time and hassle on tire wear, and basically a lot of handling characteristics too. So overall, I think those are the 5 best performance mods that you can do for these kind of cars. Now you can do a lot more other stuff with these, but I feel like, these are really great platforms, but if you just stick to those 5 basic ones, you will have not spent a lot of money, and also will have a very good streetable daily driver, but also nice fun car to have to drive around. And that goes for automatic or manual ones, and that goes for 2004 to 2006s. I think that these are great platforms, and they have a huge market of modifications. When I think about modifying a car, I think about what's the market like for it. Like, if you were to get some random car, is it going to be is there a market? Is there companies that sell parts for it? And that's the nice thing about these things, is they do have a very large market of aftermarket parts for it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video of the top 5 best performance mods for this for 2004 to 2006 GTO. It's getting dark out here, and I should probably wrap it up. But make sure to subscribe to my channel, and I'll make sure to get you guys more videos coming up. Thanks.